Hey everybody, it's me, Anjanette from AJ's Personal Touch. How you guys doing? I know, for those of you who haven't heard yet, you're not expecting to see me here sitting at home right now. You're actually expecting to either see me in the hospital bed or not see me at all. Um, I do know that my friend Kathy did put a comment on the community page on the post that I put to let you guys know what happened, but I decided that I was going to come on and explain. That way, there's nobody thinking that, anything is terribly wrong or, whatever. So, welcome into my subscribers and welcome back. Welcome in to anybody new and welcome back to my subscribers. Sorry. Switch that around, which you guys know I do quite often. So, especially when I got a lot on my mind. And right now I'm thinking, I just took a blueberry dump cake out of the oven, my gift to myself for everything that has happened. And I've got to get ready to go get a shower so that in about an hour I can put sticky, yuck, gross antiseptic stuff all over me. Actually, I guess I'm supposed to do that around 7, but whenever I'm supposed to do it. I'm supposed to shower and then a couple hours later after my body is dry, do that. So many things. So the reason I'm here and I'm not at the hospital is because we went yesterday. I got all checked in, had my IV in, I was ready to go. And then the nurse came in and she said, "I'm sorry, I need to let you know you've been bumped." Actually, I don't even think she said, "I'm sorry and I need to let you know." I think she just popped her head in and said, "You've been bumped." And I was afraid that meant I wasn't going to have my surgery at all at that point in time. And she said there has been an emergency surgery. It's going to take the doctor about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then he's going to do yours. My husband and I were like, okay. Later on, after we talked, we were both kind of like, really? Is he still really going to have time? I guess if he would have been done within the 2 hour mark, he would have had time. Once it hit the 2 hour mark and he hadn't been in to see me yet, my husband and I both kind of thought, without talking to each other again, that, okay, it's not going to happen today. I had a massive headache because by that time it was almost 2 o'clock and I hadn't had anything to eat since the night before at midnight. Plus, I hadn't had any of my meds. So, for those of you who take Lyrica, you know it's a medication that if you do go off of it, you're supposed to drop off of it slowly. So not having one of my doses would have been okay, but not having 2 doses was not an okay thing. And my body was retaliating, and I had a massive migraine going on at the time. So I told the nurse that I was getting a migraine to see if was anything I could do. And one of the things they did that I've never had before, so let me know if you guys have had this, where getting ready to go in for surgery, they gave me Tylenol and they gave me something for acid reflux. She said that it shows that I take something for acid reflux every day, which I do not, for one. After I had my surgeries, my gastric bypasses, I've never had to have anything for gastric, reflux anymore because I haven't had that issue. But hearing nurses talk to so many different patients yesterday, it seems to be something that they do for everybody because they don't want you to have any issues with that when you are under for a long period of time. So I get that. So I had to take a Tylenol and I had to take something that dealt with acid reflux. And she was like, "I'm sorry, I can't give you another Tylenol," which by then my head was hurting so bad, Tylenol was not going to do anything about it anyway. And she said, and I can't get a hold of anybody. Nobody's answering the phone because she had to call the surgery suite. And she said, and since nobody answered the phone, that tells me that they're really deep into whatever they're doing. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. So she got me some ice packs. I mean, they were great. They're amazing there. She got me some ice packs. And she was like, I'm sorry that this is really all I can do for you right now. She offered heat. But as I've told you guys before, heat's really one of the worst things to go to for a migraine or a headache, unless for whatever reason your body doesn't tolerate ice very well. So I asked her for ice instead, um, because, as I told you guys, when you guys get um, headaches or migraines, put something ice on the back of your neck here because your blood vessels are enlarged, and that's what's causing you to have a headache or a migraine. And in order to make them smaller, you want to get them at the area that it enters and leaves the brain, and that is right back here. And if it's really bad, get two, which I had two. So I had one for back here, and then I had one for up here. But if you only have one and you need to pick the right spot, go back here. It's going to get to them as they're going up and down from your brain, like I told you, and not have to go all the way to the front in order for it to hit the ice. So, just a small explanation about that again. So, I put it behind my neck. It was easy to stay there. It was harder to keep it up here because I was hurting and I just didn't feel like holding it there. So, I did my best. And we were laying there, and then my husband needed to go. I actually got a phone call from the doctor's office while we were sitting there telling me that my first appointment for my checkup needed to be canceled. And do you want this time? Do you want that time? And I was like, I asked the woman, I said, you do realize that I'm sitting here right now in the hospital waiting for my surgery? And she was like, oh, yeah, I guess you are. And I was like, I can't think right now. My head hurts. I can't think at all. So, yeah, we were both a bit frustrated with that. So when the nurse came in to give me my med, somebody was saying a joke about either your boyfriend or your husband. It was a cute joke. I don't remember what it was, and all I said was, "Yeah, not always." I said, as you can tell, my husband looked a little upset when he walked out the door because the nurse had kind of looked at me strange when he walked out, because he walked out as she was coming in. And she was like, well, the emergency surgery was because the woman is very sick. And I just looked at her and I was like, we're not upset about the emergency surgery, which we weren't. We weren't upset, one reason, because, I mean, it's an emergency, and an emergency means she needed to be taken care of. Second reason is because I've been in that situation where I had to have an emergency surgery, and it was in that hospital and somebody else had to be bumped. So, as I told my friend today, it was almost as though, it was kind of karma saying, okay, I had to bump somebody else. So now I was the one being bumped, for an emergency type thing. And we had no issue, no problem with that. We wanted him to take care of, her first because, you know, she needed to be. And plus, like you guys know, my husband, he works in a hospital and he works in a trauma hospital. So if I'm ever there in the ER and I have to wait and there's other people complaining, sometimes, depending on the person, I might say, you realize we're in a trauma hospital and more than likely we're sitting here because a trauma has come in and they have to deal with the trauma. So I get it. Lives come first, always will. So yeah, I'm like, no, we're not upset with that. Just, just upset about something else and, somebody calling who should not have been calling at that point in time. So, Yeah. So then, as we're sitting there, and the nurse had brought me in some Toradol. That's why she was coming back in to put in my IV, because she had finally gotten, I guess she left a message. I don't know how that works, but she had gotten a call back from the anesthesiologist. So she gave me some Toradol to help with my headache. And I was sitting there. I was actually, I think, almost asleep when finally calming down enough to sleep when the doctor came in. And he looked at me, and I was expecting him to say, okay, we're going to get you marked up. We're going to get going. And he was like, this isn't going to happen today. And we're going to have to get you back on the schedule. And I'm thinking it's going to be at least a week, and he said, we're going to get you in on Wednesday. So I go back tomorrow. And not only do I go back tomorrow, but I have the first appointment of the day. So he did say, though, he said, with your drive, if you want, we can put you in at noon so that you have, can don't have to get up as early. You don't have to be here as early. And I just looked at, I said, no. I said, we're fine with the early time. We're used to coming early because we've always taken the earliest time that we can, and I learned this when I was little. The best time to drive is like from midnight till like 6 o'clock in the morning because you don't get all of that rush hour. Whenever we went on vacation when I was little, my dad usually got home from work around 11 and we were on the road by midnight. So, yeah, that's how it has always been when we did family vacations. So, I'm like, I don't mind. My husband said he didn't mind. I told him, I said, and besides, I said, I don't even want to take the same chance as what happened today. We were here at noon today. So he just kind of looked at me and smiled. But yeah. So I'll have my surgery tomorrow. And as soon as I come out and everything is fine, my husband will, get in touch with my daughter first, I'm sure, then probably my mother, and then he will let Kathy know, and he has to get a hold of another friend of mine. So, and as soon as Kathy knows, she will, again, make a comment. I'll put up another post, um, so a fresh post, I guess, to say. Since she's already commented on the other one, I will put up another one and just look for her to comment. I'm sorry, we tried to find a way for her to be able to sign in herself. Maybe I'll work on that today when I have to sit here and wait to get dry after I get my shower before I can put the antiseptic stuff on. I will look and see if I can figure that out. There's got to be a way because people do it for other people all the time. Um, my major issue is that I have second verification on everything, like I'm sure a lot of you guys do. So in order for her to sign into using my credentials to get into my account, she has to prove that she's me, and from where she is, she can't prove that. But like I said, there have been people who sign in on people's accounts all the time. If you happen to know how I can do this, please let me know. You can put it down below. You can send me a message on Facebook. But yeah, because there's got to be a way that my husband can sign in too. But I guess he would have, like my phone where it sends my stuff to. If for some reason he would have to, sign in for me for whatever reason, like we've seen, unfortunately, has happened from other emergencies that have happened with other people. So if there's a way for me to figure out how she can come on, she will make the actual post herself so you can see it, because that's what you see when you look at the community page. Otherwise, I will be making the post where she can write a comment and to let you guys know what's going on. And as soon as I'm able to, but I don't know when that will be. As I've told you guys before, I have a very low pain tolerance. So it usually takes me a good day before I'm feeling up to communicating with other people because of the medications after surgery and that I'm usually pretty groggy. Um, but it just depends. You know, with my other surgeries I've had there, they've had me up and walking within hours after surgery. I don't know what to expect with this one. So I knew on those that I would have to get up and walk. With this, I don't know. Um, I have talked to somebody who's had the surgery, and if I remember right, he said they don't get you up as soon as they do with the other ones. So we will see. But I'm hoping so because if you guys don't know this, getting up and walking as soon as you can after surgery helps so many things. It helps stomach issues. It helps move along your intestines and your bowels and everything. And it just makes you feel so much better. Because I've had a surgery where I couldn't get up right away and I felt terrible. Absolutely, like it added on to how terrible I felt. But if I can get up and move and walk, it makes me feel so much better. And it helps with the pain too. It truly does. So, anyway, there you go. I'm having my surgery tomorrow, right now, because I know some of you guys want to know what time. Right now, as far as I know, I'm going to be getting there for 6 o'clock in the morning, and surgery will be at 8. But they assured me that if the doctor can see me and he can, if he gets in early enough, because I'm supposed to be his first surgery, so if he gets there early, and if the anesthesiologist is also there, if everybody is there early and ready to go, they'll have me ready to go early. So, and I think that has to do with when the ER is ready too. So I think it does have to do with a different surgery, the OR. I keep saying ER when the OR is ready because, there may be another surgery in the OR that I'm going to be in before mine. Doesn't necessarily mean that it's not my surgeon, but another surgeon can be in that OR before us. So, but they assured me if I can get in early, they will get me in early. So, there you go. I will let you guys know as soon as I can. Well, Kathy will anyway. I love you guys. I'll see you on the other side. And this time, the other side should truly happen tomorrow. So, I will talk to you later. Remember, always remember, you matter. Don't let anybody tell you differently. And please remember, you're gorgeous, you're beautiful, and I love every single one of you. And I'm going to miss you, but I will be back soon. Later.